I mean, it all derived from running the streets. You know, I grew up in a home that there wasn't any role. I mean, well, everyone's a role model, but there wasn't any positive role models. I should say it like that. No one worked in my home growing up. You know, it was just a lot of arguing, fighting, and everyone, you know, either sold drugs or tried to have some type of hustle. No one wanted a job. So as a result, I'm not blaming, but I did the same thing, you know. So therefore, running the streets was like it was my thing. And as a result of that, I ended up, what I went to prison for was an assault. But again, it was just complete dysfunction. I never had really held down a job or completed anything, or so, you know, now it's obviously different. I'm trying to every step of the way. That's, you know, I'm hustling now through jobs or through school, or, you know, I'm putting my hustle to positive things, you know, and it's just calling it hustle, but it's hard work.
My goal was to help them, you know, cut down recidivism, and help by helping these individuals actually, you know, get the power within themselves to stay out of prison.
And pretty much everything that he said, we did, and due to that, I'm here today speaking to you.
Child support is not always the bad person, that we can help them. If they work with us, there's many things that we can help them out with, such as a driver's license, or you know, reducing their support or suspending their support. So I think the communication opened up a lot. Child support orders for a lot of people that have gone into prison, the orders were set unrealistically. They weren't set based on true information.
Right.
And then they keep accumulating, and if they're in there for 1 year, even 6 months even, I mean, at $300 a month, that's a lot of money to owe when you come out and you're already behind. And then issues start happening, such as, you know, their driver's license goes away, we start intercepting their taxes, their credit report is no good, they can't go to school because their grants and loans are stopped. Right. So absolutely, the very first issue should be to stop the support.
But again, like you spoke of, what you've seen in my daughter is the same thing I see, and is also the same thing that keeps me going. And not only just with her, again, with the other 4 children that I'm, you know, back into their lives, you know, at a good, it's a good pace. I spend a lot of time with them, and I like it. And I also see the same thing out of all of them as well. So that right there is the constant. It's, you know, it's what keeps me going, as well as seeing that my goals get accomplished too.
To me, it was absolutely amazing that a lot of them, and I don't know if that was because they were encouraged to contact us or not, but it was like the first time many of them had ever had any contact with the child support office in the whole entire time their case had been open.
Wow.
So, and it was, you know, when you know, many times I'd said to them, well, why didn't you contact before if you weren't working and the biggest answer is that it was just too much paperwork, too much for them to understand and do.
Well, actually, partly as a result of the project, I'm now working with the St. Paul Father Project, which is very similar to what the guys were hooked up with the Father Project in Minneapolis. And I find that I have a lot of face-to-face contact with my clients. I think that's very important. One thing we did not get with Mind the Gap was a lot of face-to-face with the clients. I would see them at events like the graduation or whatever, but we didn't really, they didn't come in to see me most of the time. I talked to them on the phone. So the phone voice was very important, but I think the face, I'm finding from the Father Project clients, is just as important. They need to see that smile. They can hear it, but they need to see it.
Right.
They need to look into your eyes and see where your heart is.
I think one of the really important pieces that came from this grant is a better understanding what corrections is about, to Father Project, to the child support world, and likewise corrections got a really good introduction on the child support world and the importance of parenting and the importance of addressing our offenders as fathers and not just as their OID number. So I think that it maybe put more of a human touch on all of the government agencies that are involved, which was a really good thing.